We also, within the consortium, have one non-governmental organization. In particular, we have Croatian Down Syndrome Association. And you can see that the project is very international in a sense that we have collaborators from Croatia, Spain, Portugal, Hungary, and France. And all the partners bring certain different background, different perspective on problems we are trying to address within the scope of this project. Okay, target groups. We actually, within the scope of this project, we defined multiple target groups. Our perhaps main target group are obviously people with disabilities. We target them with our results. We already implemented innovative solution, which uses augmented reality that is some kind of mobile application that helps people with disabilities in their cooking activities. So more about that. Hopefully, during the course of this blended mobility, you will get more familiarized with this. We also produce some different results. However, within the scope of today's meeting, our main target groups are students from participating higher education institution. So thank you all for expressing interest to actually take part in this blended mobility. And obviously, in this blended mobility, we have students. They will work in very interesting multicultural teams. However, they will be supported by lecturers, by their supervisors or researchers from participating institutions. Okay, project goal, to state once again, is to improve social inclusion of people with disabilities. How do we plan to achieve that goal? By creating innovative IT solutions based on emerging technologies. So we developed 3 specific objectives. I will not go into too much details. I will just mention, for instance, the second part here is related to this cooking app we developed, which is based on augmented reality. When you think about emerging technologies, think about augmented reality, virtual reality, 3D printing, machine learning, how we can use such emerging technologies to really come up with some innovative IT solution, being it, for instance, some software product, which will ultimately help a particular set of users coming from the people with disabilities. So with this, we directly target our main target group, which are people with disabilities. However, we also mentioned that we also want to achieve long-term impact, because project will develop certain results. This will be used hopefully by our people with disabilities, and this is okay. However, in order to make this long-term change, we also want to make positive change in our higher education system, in a sense that we want to onboard many young talents, such as yourself, a lot of very good students who have some interest in maybe collaborating and proposing some nice new innovative ideas, how we can help people with disabilities with emerging technologies. And this is actually the topic of blended mobility. Also, within the scope of INNOSID project, we have many different activities. However, I would like to turn your attention to the workshop. So this year, we have blended mobility, which comprises of 2 parts. We start today the virtual part of mobility, which will be conducted via Microsoft Teams. Dario will give you very detailed information about the logistics related to virtual mobility, and hopefully more details about INNOSID project, about everything else will be given in person in September 2021, where we will meet in Dubrovnik. And this concludes my very, very high level intro about the INNOSID project. And now I invite my colleague Dario Pevec, who took almost everything for virtual mobility, to share us some practical information regarding the blended mobility.
Okay, can you see my screen now?
Yes. Okay, Dario.
Okay, so the agenda of this meeting from my perspective is to introduce the blended mobility with the emphasis on the virtual mobility part, and to guide you through the next steps you need to take in order to successfully finish this workshop. As Jurica already mentioned, there are multiple goals of the blended mobility to teach you about the needs and challenges of people with disabilities, as well to increase your awareness about the importance of social inclusion. You will be given an overview of emerging technology and how can they be used to improve social inclusion. And through the blended mobility, the student as well as lecturers uh, will have will gain some knowledge about the software requirement solicitation and prototyping. The blended mobility is a mix of is a mixed mobility composed from virtual mobility, which started right now and will be held via Microsoft Teams. The focus of virtual mobility is on project-based learning in multicultural teams, while physical mobility will hopefully be held in Dubrovnik in September with a focus on hands-on sessions. Now I'll go through the virtual mobility in more details. The platform that you will be used to communicate with your colleagues and supervisors is Microsoft Teams. There are a couple of channels. I can demonstrate them on the Teams. Do you see now the Microsoft Teams?
Yes.
Okay, great. First, we have the general channel. All the participants of this workshop, including students and lecturers, are members of this channel. And here we will post information about meetings, surveys, and everything that you all need to participate in. Next channel is the institutional channel. This channel won't be as active as the others. This channel is intended to communicate with the members of specific institution. For example, when we need to buy you tickets to come to the physical mobility in Dubrovnik, we'll contact you here. Next, we have dedicated case study channels. This is the primary channel where you will communicate with your supervisors and team members. And this is also the channel where we will monitor your progress and evaluate your work. Here you have a couple of tabs, the Files tab where you can see the product vision statement that you will develop. You have the Figma, where you will actually develop the prototype, and the contact information, which you will have to fill out after this meeting. This is the example where you have to put your picture, your mail address, your institution, and a couple of facts about you. So the other members of your team can contact you, and it's easier to have all the contacts in one place. Next, we have channel that is dedicated only for students. Here you can communicate between yourself, share experiences of working in teams, and your case studies. And finally, we have channel that is dedicated to supervisors, where we will collaborate in supervising your teams. As for the resources, I already stated a couple of them: the product vision statement, the contact information, and the other ones are software requirement specification template. This is the document that you will have to fill out with the requirements of your product. This document will be available to you once the officially virtual mobility started next Monday. Besides that, you will also be given the guidelines about the Figma tool, how to use it, and how to create accounts. More about that I will tell you as a part of the next steps. Besides that, I already mentioned in the email, we have the information and frequently asked questions for students as well as supervisors. I hope the majority of you took time to go through them and that you have some questions about them. As for the tool that you will be using, it's Figma. It requires no coding. It's focused on visual prototyping. And here you will have to develop wireframe and later high fidelity prototype. As for the tasks during the virtual mobility, they are divided in two major sections. The first one is the prototype development, where you will have to perform a software requirement solicitation. You will have the template I mentioned previously, and there are a couple of well-known methods how to gather those software requirements. However, you are dealing with the application intended to increase social awareness about people with disabilities. So we strongly suggest that during the development of that document, you contact some organization for people with disabilities or people that have experiences in that field. Uh, Besides the software requirements, you will have to develop the prototype. It should be developed in two phases, which you will see on the calendar I have in a couple of slides. First, you will develop a wireframe, which is low fidelity prototype with basic functionalities without focus on the design. And the second and last step of this prototype development is to develop a high fidelity prototype with full functionalities and the design. Besides those IT tasks, you also have soft skill tasks. First of those tasks is to create a video. The video should be 3 to 5 minutes long, and in that video you should present your institution as well as yourselves with your strengths, weaknesses, hobbies, interests, and anything that you think it's interesting and important for the scope of this project. The only limitation for this video is that it must be your own work. You can't just take existing video that demonstrates your institution and compose it into your video. You should make your own video, which will later be evaluated as all the soft skill tasks will be by our soft skill experts, Katie and Ellison. The next soft skill task is the photography challenge. You will be given multiple topics and you will have to create some sort of picture that will depict the topic given. The participation in this task is mandatory. More information about it can be found in the instruction and frequently asked questions. Here I also mentioned our Instagram account, INNOSID Fair, because in this task you will have to interact with that account, tag it, and use INNOSID hashtags. One very important and the last of the soft skill tasks is to arrange a meeting with our soft skill experts after the first week of virtual mobility, when you have some experiences of working in multicultural team. You will then present to them what did you do, what you plan to do, and how do you manage your work. And from them you will receive feedback and guides how to efficiently work in a multicultural team. Here is the calendar I mentioned. As you can see, the first version of requirement specification and the wireframe should be developed in the first 3 weeks of the virtual mobility. And those blue squares are the deadlines where you have to provide your supervisor with the deliverable. After both deadlines, this is the first mandatory video conference that you have to have with your supervisor, where he will give you a feedback and guides for the further work on your prototype. Based on that feedback, the second part of the virtual mobility is to develop a high fidelity prototype, as well as to improve your requirement specification document. After the version 2 is delivered to the supervisors, once again, this is the second and the last mandatory video conference that you need to have with your supervisors, where they will once again give you a feedback, and based on that feedback, after the virtual mobility ends, you will have to submit final version to us. As for the soft skill tasks, the photography contest will span during the whole virtual mobility. As I said, the meeting with our soft skill experts should be held after the first week of virtual mobility. And for the video, you have approximately 2 to 3 weeks to upload it Files tab in your institutional channel. Here are the teams and the team members. I won't go through all of your names, but I will specifically say who your supervisor is. The first case study is related to the VR taxi driver. You had access to all product vision statements, so based on that and your preferences, as well as the limitation that all teams should have the minimal possible number of students from the same institution, we produced the teams. For this case study, I will be the supervisor, while for the second case study, which is the shopping guys Hrvoje, that is also here on the meeting, will be the supervisor.
Where is Hrvoje? Is Hrvoje online maybe?
Yeah.
Can you just say hello, Hrvoje? I cannot see. How do you look like?
Hello, everybody.
Hi, Hrvoje. Okay.
Okay, so I think that all supervisors are here on the meeting, so they can introduce themselves now when I mention them. For the case study 3, we have the case go independently that will be led by Ivana Gace.
Hello, everybody.
For the case study 4, we have Smart Help with Mariana and Ildiko from Hungary. Yeah, you're muted. Just. Okay, the case study 5 is the My 3D Avatar with Pedro as a supervisor.
Hello, everybody. I hope you have a good day.
Hi.
Hello.
Case study 3, Hollow Geometry. We have Anna Kešelj and Krunoslav from Dubrovnik.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
And just to mention, I see Francisco is here also, so you are the only one that haven't filled out the yacht form, so I don't have your photo and information. Can you confirm that you will do it as soon as possible?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, thank you. And finally, we have case study 7 around me, which will be led by Carlos. Hi, Carlos.
Hello. Hello, everybody from Spain.
Okay, you will have opportunity to meet with your supervisors and with your colleagues, and it is actually part of one of the next steps. How the communication should be realized? Well, with your case study members and supervisors, as I said, the main communication should be in your dedicated case study channel. However, you may use different channels and different platforms. However, the results and your progress must be visible on Teams case study channel, because this is the place where we will every week or every 2 weeks check, did you do anything, what your progress is, where your supervisor will check up on you. So whatever you do that's outside of Teams, it must be later on that channel. To communicate with other students, you can use the students channel, and communication with everyone will be realized in the general channel, as I mentioned when I demonstrated the structure of Microsoft Teams. And if you have any questions about the Teams channels, you can ask either me or Ivana, because she will be our technical expert for Microsoft Teams. And now we are at the end of the presentation. The next steps for you and your supervisors. I see that at least one participant from each organization is here. So if your colleagues have any troubles accessing Microsoft Teams, filling out forms, questionnaires, or anything, please help them. Besides that, once that you have access to your case study channel, fill out the contacts template that I showed you earlier. That goes for both students and supervisors. And post one post about you in your case study team. For example, hello, my name is Dario Pevec, and I would like my role in this team to be the, I don't know, the main guy for gathering software requirements, because I have experiences since I worked on a similar project before. So just your team members know what to expect from you, and maybe to propose different ideas for your work. After this meeting, in the general channel, I will post the self-assessment survey, which you have to fill out. And for each task like this, where we ask you to do something, only after you do it, leave a thumb up on the post, so we know that you all did it, because we know how many of you are participating, and we don't have to go through each single answer to see if you all participated in the survey. Besides that, I would strongly suggest that you try and organize the welcome meeting with your supervisor in order for him to give you some detailed instructions on how to proceed with the development of your prototype and software requirements document. As I told you in the welcome email, we prepared the instructions and frequently asked question documents. So if you read it and you have any questions about them or about the workshop in general, now is the time for you to ask them.
Thank you, Dario and Richard. This is Cathy Sablé speaking. Don't know if you can hear me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
I will have one silly question. Do Alison and I have to load this Figma thing?
No,
I-
only the supervisors need to, of course, you will get the link to the interactive prototype and you can check it out, but we don't
Excellent.
expect from you to develop anything, so
Yes.
you don't have need for the Figma account.
I feel relieved.
Thank
And
you.
and I found it very, very nice because as the teams were presented, we could see that women are there. In every team, there were about 3 or 2 girls. So bravo, women, ladies.
Yeah, the fact is we have around 65% of girls compared to boys in this workshop. So
And this is a great percentage. Congratulations.
does anyone else have any questions?
Hello, Dario, again, and
Hi.
everyone. It's not like a question. It's just, first of all, I would like to apologize in name of Professor Maria because she couldn't be here today. So she had another important meeting with her scientific advisory board at her institution, and she would like to, thank you all for your work and for your amazing progress in INNOSID project. And yes, she's also very excited for the kickoff of the mobility training in this project, and all the students that are also involved as well. And another situation, I emailed you, yesterday, we are always in contact, but I emailed you like yesterday, I think, about those 3 students that couldn't participate.
Yes.
So if there is, this is only a possibility, but if there is a chance or for any other reason or drop off or something like that, and if they could enter or participate, I would like just to be, if it is possible, of course. I already see that all the teams are structured and merged to start the work, but if for any reason someone drops off for personal reasons or something like that, and if it would be possible for them to participate, it would be even better. It's just that side note that I would like to give. Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
We'll definitely keep that in mind.
Okay.
And
Thanks
we
a
will
lot.
contact you offline about it. But if
Okay.
someone drops out, yeah.
Okay. Thanks.
Okay, very, very good. It seems like for the time being, we do not have any questions. I'm observing the meeting chat and it seems like we don't have any entries. Hopefully we are speaking to real people. So if we don't have any questions, or if we have some remarks from other colleagues, maybe if you would like to share a few words, just let us know, maybe Felipe or Carlos or Mariana. Because if not, then I wish you all the success in this blended mobility. I'm fairly convinced that it will be a very, very beneficial experience for you in many different areas. One being introducing yourself to emerging technologies, how you can use the technology actually to help people with disabilities. It requires, maybe a different way of thinking as opposed to what you're learning in your traditional curriculum at your higher education institutions. But more than that, or also, you will get the experience working in multicultural, international environment, which will also be very beneficial. And hopefully, if COVID-19 permits, and we are crossing fingers that this will indeed be the case, that you will actually be able to realize the physical part of mobility and join us in lovely Dubrovnik in September. And before we sign off, yeah, I would like to help Dario in these promotional activities. I would like to post something for Instagram for the project. But in order to do that, I need also help from you. In a sense, I would like to take a screenshot of today's meeting, but I would like to take a screenshot where I can see some faces so that we not only have some names, but also some faces. So I kindly ask you if you can switch on the cameras, and then all of us can maybe poke some screenshots, and
Vedran, you were
that
there.
way we will conclude the meeting. And Vedran is here as well.
I didn't hear him.
Listening. Hello, Felipe.
Good. Me too.
We are very happy to participate in this activity, in this workshop, and we hope to learn all together from the student and the student for jazz. Okay, for jazz is a very interesting experience. And well, we in my case and Felipe too, I suppose we would like to starting with the work as soon as possible. Okay.
Yeah, now I will show you what I have right now. I already put you in some nice conference room. Let me just, oh yeah, I can send you in chat. And you can see that it's not like 50 people. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I don't know, maybe 15. Just switch on your cameras. I know it's COVID-19. All of you are doing some online learning activities. At previous stages, you had to turn on your camera, so don't be shy. Just please give me this great opportunity to take 1 or 2 screenshots.
You say that UPV are connecting.
Okay, this is my third one, maybe one more. We are all happy. And now I'm happy as well. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you. Dario, do you have any final remarks to share?
I would just like to say that we are always available, and from now on, we would prefer communications via Microsoft Teams, not so much by the email. So if you have any questions, feel free to post in the general, in the students group, or to me personally, and you will have the answer as soon as possible. Thank you.
Thank you. Have fun. Goodbye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Have a nice day.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.